through the weathering. And if you're here live, we hope you'll stick around and chat with us while we work. If you're watching the replay, understand this might not be the first episode. If it's not, we will have a link to the sequence playlist in the description. We want to thank you very much for joining us. Let's not beat around the bush anymore. Let's get to work. Thank you for being here. Hey there, welcome back, y'all. We stuck down after we talked to Digger. We stuck a bunch of them down and talked to Digger and Joe and Jeff about it earlier. And we're getting ready to, hopefully this is a short one, y'all. I really do. The airbrush works well, ha ha ha, which is, it could be real short if the airbrush doesn't work well and I could be coming back on. But if the airbrush sprays well, this might be a matter of just 10-15 minutes max. And then we'll have to let it dry and come back this evening and apply them to the model. So, wish me luck. Hopefully this goes well. If the brush sprays well, hey there, Jerry. How's it going? Good to see you, man. I should have had the models out here before. I took them to the other room though. But good to see you, Jerry. Hope you're doing well. Happy Saturday to you. I'm hoping to not be on real long and put a little, just a little coat of paint on these to weather them down a little bit and knock the shine off on them so I can put them on those, the model. And then I won't have to weather them so much then, and that's kind of what I'm trying to get away from. This is per Digger's suggestion, and I was thinking about doing it too, but Digger helped me make the decision to not do it. I was going to just stick them on there. See, I had painted everything but these, and that's because they are easy to paint, and these weren't stuck down or anything. So what I did is I put glue dots on the bottom of the cutting board, and then I put painter's tape upside down on the glue dots. So the glue dots are sticking the painter's tape down, and I got the sticky part of the painter's tape up. And they will come off fairly easy, but they don't come off real easy with the airbrush. So hopefully this will go well. We'll see. No, you're talking about the paints, to put the paints in the gun, or the actual spray ones? I'd like to try them both, to be perfectly honest. The Tamiya paints for the airbrush are pretty expensive for as much painting as I do sometimes. But I do struggle with, I do struggle with keeping the airbrush clean because I don't use good paints though. But I have to use so much of it though sometimes on some of the applications. Let's see if we can get this going. And this is a real old airbrush, but hopefully I can. Maybe I should start in the middle. Uh-oh. They're moving a little, but not too bad. Just hard to see if I'm getting any paint on there. Oh yeah, I could thin them down. That's true. Let's see if we can get back here all the way. Just hard to see if I'm painting. I guess I am. You can see a little bit on the blue. I'm just not letting much out yet. I don't want it to be dripping, obviously. Check my hard to see, I guess, what I'm doing, because it's hard for me to see, but it's working, I think. Like I said, I'm not really trying to weather them more than I'm just trying to make sure they're not shiny. I want to weather them, but I want to weather them on the model. I just don't want them to be I learned something yesterday, yeah, it was yesterday. I didn't realize that my nozzles had their own tips. I figured it would be universal. And man, I tried to use the wrong nozzle with the wrong tip, or the right nozzle with the wrong tip, however you want to look at it. And it wasn't good. Probably turn this up a little. Hey Joe, good to see you. Now that I would like, Jerry. Drying super fast is nice. If this thing is clean, it does really well, so it would do me well to use them. I'm going to cover up all the glue and not be able to see what I'm doing. Yeah, I will. What happens is this bucket gets something in the 90-degree thing, the elbow, and it's hard to get it out. Now, I saw a set of paint Tamiya's that were a little pricey, but it wasn't unreasonable, and they were earth colors. That's what I would want to get, is the earth color set from Tamiya. I would use them sparingly if I had them, just being honest. Uh-oh, they're starting to move. It's getting really up. It's getting really hard for me to see too. What kind of airbrush you got, Jerry? You know, I got this from Claude. Not Claude, but Claude's estate sale. Alright. Kind of feel better about doing these like this than going those big broad swipes. I don't know why. At least I can see that the pressure's hitting them. There we go. Well, this is gonna be definitely worth it. I'm gonna feel a lot better. Hey there, Schuylkill River Valley. Good to see you, man. I sent you a question about this because I couldn't figure out how to do this, and Digger was on earlier and he talked me into doing it. And he mentioned using a putty, and I just used glue dots on this cutting board and turn the tape upside down. I'm going to be back on this evening with a guest. Alice will be on, and we will be putting these on the models. I'm going to set both the models up, and she is nice enough and willing to help. Oh, well, I think these are too, but I understand what you're saying. Because you thin it with the alcohol and then use the Tamiya, and I bet it does dry real fast. I've got alcohol in here too. I think you might have got me using IPA. Jerry, it might have been you that suggested it. Because I don't use thinner, airbrush thinner. I use IPA. But we getting this. This will be fine. Give it a few hours to dry. We'll put them on. And then about 5 train time this evening, maybe 4:30 train time this evening, because we got 2 of them to do, and I want to put all these on so tomorrow we could just weather. I'll be weathering with the Tamiya pastels, Jerry. That's what I'm going to be using Tamiya tomorrow. All the Tamiya pastels. Well, not all. I got a few. Uh-oh, he's starting to get jump, which is fine because we're about done. Turn it up a little bit more. So hard to see. Not much though. Just spraying real light. There we go. Still spraying light though, it's not perfectly clean. There we go. Jerry, very carefully. Lots of foam. In most cases, I'll send these. Sometimes I won't send these on. I'll send them in a bag beside it, depending upon the model. But this one was ordered with a light weather, and so I'm gonna send it. I'm not gonna send it uh, with any part not attached, because I just kind of associate that. I wonder if my paint's getting too thick. That's one thing about the IPA I noticed, Jerry. When it dries, my paint will get thicker, of course. But it's not spraying good. It needs to be clean. And it kind of always needs to be cleaned, and that's because I don't use the good paints, which I need to. And I need to get, what I need to do is get some strainers. If I would just strain this paint, I'd be fine. But I don't have anything to strain it with usually. I'll go through the resin strainers too fast. Can't use all them for that, because I need them for that. Here's what I'm going to do. Put this here. I'm going to flush it real quick with alcohol. And then I'm going to put it back in, do one more coat. And then I'll be good till this evening, about 5 or so time. Oh no. My mistake, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. Less paint, meaning more IPA. Like thinner. Yeah, because this alcohol is actually going through there. It's just the paint was a little thick. Had gotten a little thick. That is something I noticed with the IPA, is it does do that. As that IPA dries, my paint gets thick. And so we'll pour that in there, which was the remainder of that alcohol that was in the gun. Now we'll stir, and which thinned our paint. Bye, Joe. Have a good one, man. I will see you hopefully this evening if you're able to make it. If not, I understand. I appreciate it. You've been in most of them, or you've caught up on the replay, so I do thank you for that. Alright, here we go. We might get a real good spray here, I don't know. Hopefully I've done enough of these. I'm going to be upset if I'm short, since I'm going to have to redo this, but I did a bunch. I figure I need about 120, and I think I did about that. And I was trying to make sure I was over guesstimating or whatever. I think we're gonna call them good. They look much better, if I don't say so myself. I was kind of hoping I wouldn't ruin this cutting board. It's all in the name of modeling. And that's all I need to do. I just got to get the straighteners and stuff. Alright. I think we're going to leave that. And call that good. And then what's going to happen is I will see y'all gentlemen, hopefully, if you're able to make it. About 5 o'clock train time tonight, we'll be on applying these to the model. And I will have a guest with me. And hopefully we'll get those knocked out, get them applied to the model, and then let that dry overnight. They'll be dry overnight, and yeah, and then I do get them. And what happens is, John, when I stir it in the buckets and in the jars and stuff, what happens is it dries on the side, and then when I go to pour it, some of the dry pieces get in what I'm pouring in the cup. I think I've tried to diagnose it because I couldn't figure it out, but drives me crazy. But I'm going to flush my gun so it keeps spraying decently for next time, hopefully. And again, we'll when we come back this evening, we'll have an overhead view with both the models here, and we'll be applying these to the model. And so, thank you very much for joining me today for this 11th episode. And this is a short one, but I was hoping it would be short. I'm gonna turn this off for a minute. I was hoping it would be a short one. We're gonna go ahead and let's see. We're going to go ahead and get out of here for today, but then, or not today, but for now, and then we'll be back on. It's 1 now, probably about 5:30 train time, I would think. So I hope to see y'all if you're able to come, but I appreciate y'all coming this time.